what we're going to learn new is this. Oh, who can raise their hand and tell me what this is? Kimberlyn, what is this? It's just a what?
A clock.
A clock. What do we do with a clock, Kimberlyn?
I forgot.
What do we use a clock for? Calder. Calder, what do we use a clock for?
Unmute yourself. You have to unmute yourself.
He is. He's unmuted.
You use it for what time it is, so you know what time it is.
Very good. We use a clock to let us know what time it is. So today we are going to talk about the clock. Some of you, when we were back in school, were kind of curious about a clock, and we talked about it, and I kind of told you how to tell time, but we really didn't do a lesson on it. We just kind of talked about it one time. So we're really going to do a lesson on telling time today. This type of clock is called an analog clock. An analog clock is a round clock, and it has numbers on it. And it has these two things that are called hands, okay? So an analog clock is round, it has numbers, or sometimes the numbers look kind of funny because they're called Roman numerals, but then it also has two things that are called hands. These hands work together. I want everybody to watch what happens. When I move this big hand, look at that little hand. Do you see what's happening? This one doesn't like to go past the 12 for some reason. There we go. Did you see what happened? What happened when I moved that big hand? What happened when I moved the big hand? Aspen. I'm trying to unmute you, sweet pea. I think you and I are both trying to unmute you. I'll just let you do it. Okay, Aspen, what happened?
The little hand moved while you were turning the big hand.
It did. Those two are connected because this one hand helps this hand move, okay? Now, the two hands are different sizes, aren't they? Can you see that this one is really long and this one is shorter? So if we look at the two hands, one is really long and one is short. Now, give me a minute here because I couldn't figure out how to do it without moving stuff. I have to get my chart up here. Okay, I have written the two words down. Minute and hour. Minute and hour. Now, Dawson, which one of those words is bigger?
Hour.
Is that one bigger or is this one bigger? Which one's bigger?
Hour.
The hour word's kind of short, but the what? Remember the other word?
Minute.
Minute. The minute is a bigger word, isn't it? So you know what? That's going to help us because the hour is short. And that hand's going to be short. But minute is a long word. shorthand's going to be what? Long. So we have hour as our short word and minute as our big word. So on the hands of the clock, the shorthand is the hour hand. The long hand is the minute hand, okay? So we are going to always think, and you know what? Sometimes they do this and sometimes they don't, but we're always going to think the little one goes first, okay? Sometimes if you have little brothers or sisters, moms and dads might say, oh, the little one's going to go first. Telling a time, the little ones always get to go first, okay? So we're always going to say what it points to first. Now, you have noticed that the numbers in the clock, at the top, there's a 12. And then it counts in order. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's hiding. 11, and then the 12. We're not going to worry too much about these little dotted numbers back here because that actually counts by 5. But we are going to just worry about the little hand and the big hand, and we're going to talk about when it points to the 12 and when it points to the 6. Today we're just going to worry about the minute hand pointing to the 12. When the minute hand points to the 12, that's always going to be o'clock. That sounds funny, doesn't it? O'clock. When the big hand points to the 12, it always says what? O'clock. Everybody say that. O'clock. Now, remember what I told you? The little hand always gets to go first. So before we can say o'clock, whatever the little hand is pointing to, we have to say first. So this one we would say what? 6 o'clock. So what time does my clock show? 6 o'clock. Do you see that? Do you see that? Because the little hand goes first, so we say what it's pointing to, and it's pointing to the 6. The big hand is pointing to the 12, so we say o'clock. All right? Now, this is a tricky one. This is called an analog clock that goes like this. But sometimes we see little clocks. You guys can't see that other O, can you? Sometimes we have a digital clock and it looks like an alarm clock. And that has the 6 and then 00 for o'clock. So this is called an analog clock. 600 is o'clock. When I write that, I'm going to write 6 dot dot 0 0. Would everybody write that on your paper for me? Get your paper, get your pencils, and I'm going to change our group so we can see everybody doing it. Right, 6 o'clock, just like I did, and show it to me. And show it to me. Good job, Calder. Oh, good job. Oops, Kimmy, you're showing me upside down, bud. Good job. Good job, Jalen. Good job, Kimmy. Good job, Rylan. Good job, Emma. Okay, 6 o'clock. Good job. Now, remember, we said the 6 went first because that's what it was pointing to. The little hand went first, 6 o'clock, okay? So anytime we're looking at a clock, what's going to go first? The little hand, whatever it's pointing to. Okay. Now this one, oh, I have a different time for you. What are we going to look at first? What are we going to look at first, Kamek? Kamek, but we're going to look at the little hand. And the little hand is pointing to the 10. You are exactly right. Then we're going to look at the big hand. Remember, when it points to the 12, we always say what? Oh, clock. Oh, Emma's already gotten it written down. Oh, good job, Emma. So, when I'm going to write it down, what am I going to write down first? My 10. Oh, good job, Kimberlyn. So I'm going to write a 10. Then I'm going to make those 2 dots, which is called a colon. And then I'm going to put a 0 and a 0 for o'clock. Because it says what? 10 o'clock. So then when I write it, I'm writing 10 dot dot a colon 0 0. Can you show me how to write 10 o'clock? Oh, good job, Calder. Oh, good job, Cambry. Oh, good job, Kamek. Good job, Rylan. Good job, Jalen. Oh, good job. I see a lot of them. Good job, Emily. Yeah, good job, Kimberlyn. Yes, Kimberlyn, do you have a question?
My friend has the clock you have, but it was broken.
Oh, is that right? Oh, these are kind of fun to play with. They really are. And most of the time if we would have been in school, you guys would have little ones that you could play with. But it's kind of hard when we're away to get them to you guys. So, very good. Okay, now we're going to do another one, okay? You guys are doing great. Okay, this time, make sure it's right there. Ooh, what time does my clock say? What time? Write it down. Write it down. I want to see if you can get it, and then we'll talk about it. What time does my clock say? Which hand goes first? Remember, little one always goes first. Good job, Kamek. Little one always goes first. And then when it's pointing at the 12, what do we say? Good job, Cambry. Good job, Jalen. Good job, Calder. Okay. Dawson, what time does my clock say, bud? The little hand goes first. It's pointing to the, okay, Kimberlyn, make sure you put the 2 first, and then the dot dot, and then 0 0. Good job, Aspen. Oh, good job, Rylan. Okay, good job, Eli. You guys are doing great. Yes, you are. Okay. So, remember the little hand goes first, so we say 2, and then the big hand's at the 12, so we say o'clock. So to write that, you would put a 2 and a colon and a 0 0 for o'clock. Good job. Now, I'm going to see if I can, we'll do one more and then I'm going to see if I can trick you, okay? I bet I won't be able to trick you. You guys are doing so good. Okay, what time does my clock say? Can you write it down for me? What time does my clock say?